Do you have any idea what their defense is going to be, given the fact that the judge is basically taking away their defense?
Am I the only person in the world talking about attacking the timeline,
Do you have any idea what their defense is going to be, given the fact that the judge is basically taking? Do you have any idea what their defense is going to be, given the fact that the judge is basically taking away their defense?
Am I the only person in the world talking about attacking the timeline,
Do you have any idea what their defense is going to be, given the fact that the judge is basically taking away their defense?
Like, am I in crazy?
Do you have any idea what their defense is going to be, given the fact that the judge is basically taking away their defense?
Am I the only person in the world talking about attacking the timeline,
Do you have any idea what their defense is going to be, given the fact that the judge is basically taking away their defense?
Like, am I in crazy?
Challenge the timeline of the murders.
Talking about attacking the timeline.
What's the strategy today? Winning.
Whose motherfucking hair is that?
What's the strategy today? Winning.
The consensus has been challenge the timeline of the murders. Challenge the timeline of the murders.
Hi, everybody. Testing. Can you hear me? Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Good afternoon. Best intro on YouTube. Is this a yes? Mute. I'm not muted. Mic works. Oh my gosh, woman. I was about to throw this out of the window. Hello, friends. Happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing? Loud and clear from Scotland. I've been to Scotland. Scotland's beautiful. I love Scotland. Hey, team. Hey, Mavhawk. Vinny Pots and Pans. Good to see you. Luke. My friend Luke is here, y'all. I love when Luke is here. Mar is here. Cranks can hear, says Judy. Hello, all of you cranks and Krebonites from the Royal Wheat. True crime and death metal. We love that. Hello, BGOG. Shaboogies. Free Ricky Bay. The whole gang's here. Jerry Rocks. Ems and Krebin, my love. Judge Jessica, we have been getting into Twitter shenanigans. Hot Pocket, Visa Jones, Jess, all of the people are here. Hello, everyone. I'm happy you all are here. Hella is here. Hella is hella mad, as are we. As are we. Pop Tarty, I love you. I'm happy to see you. I hope you're doing good. Howdy from Joyzy. Joyzy's in the house. Okay. Well, let's get into it, shall we? I woke up this morning and I asked myself, what fresh hell are we going to encounter today? So we know that yesterday was an exciting day in the Delphi world. After all, the prosecutor did respond to the motion to correct error. So that's exciting. And then this morning, we woke up and we got a tweet from Barbara McDonald, who I respect. I think she's a good journalist. And, but she confused me because she tweeted this morning about the state's response to the motion to correct error that we saw yesterday. And she included in that tweet 3 pictures. They were photos of Liberty German's cell phone at the crime scene. Yes, that is Barbara McWhiteside. What was she up to? What in the world could she have been up to? Why don't we take a look, shall we? Hella's getting paid. We'd love to see it. Barbie Mac. Barbie Mac. Liberty German's phone. A word. Let's see if we can manage this. Probably not. We're going to try our best, though. What was interesting about Barbara's tweet, to which I immediately, as I do, responded in all caps. I think all caps. I did actually end up deleting it, though, because it was a little aggressive. And right after I tweeted at her, I realized that she was sharing exhibits that the prosecutor filed with his motion to correct error. And wouldn't you know it, the first thing that comes up when I pull up Twitter is Barbara. So, and also baby didn't want to get banned from Twitter again. Also true. Also true. You still pissed, Steve? Good to see you, Steve. I wake up pissed. I go to bed pissed. We are going to be pissed until Ricky Allen is home. Local news in Fort Wayne. Looks like it might start journalism again. Interesting. Let's share screen. This is what we woke up this morning to bear witness to. Included in the state's response to the Delphi defense motion to correct error are 3 exhibits, photos of Liberty German's phone at the crime scene. It appears to have dew or water droplets on it. The state disputes the defense expert who says that an auxiliary code was plugged in, ... The state argues that water or dirt got into the jack, which gave a code on the extraction report. That's all good and fine. I believe that my response initially was, LOL Babs, what the fuck are these? Are these exhibits or what the fuck are you up to? Because, let's see if I can pull this up. Ina Malcolmson, being very generous and very sweet, just donated $20 to the RAM Fund, to the Crank Fund. Thank you so much, Ina. I'm glad that you're here. I'm trying to pin this, and I can't figure out how to, but I appreciate you, and that's very generous. Thank you so much, Ina. So when we pull up this photo, what's interesting about it is that I don't see any exhibit number or any filing stamp on it, right? Do you? Does anybody see an exhibit number or a filing stamp on this? I sure don't. How about this one? Let's see. Number 2, let's see. Exhibit, filing number, anything? No? Okay. Oh, I don't see one on that one. So that's odd. It's odd, I thought. But then I realized that she was sharing exhibits that were public. The prosecutor did go ahead and, hi, Post Pink Mama. did go ahead and file some exhibits in tandem with his motion response to the defense motion. So a couple questions I have. Those photos of the phone that I just showed, that I guess I can show again. Why not? Because I got some questions, and we're going to get into my questions. We're going to get into everyone's questions. I've been seeing a lot of questions. So interesting move on Barbara's part to share the photos of the phone from the filing without, she either had different photos or she cropped out the exhibit and filing stamp, which is fine. You know, she's within her right to do that. That was an interesting choice. I think that created a little bit of confusion. I mean, I was confused. Hey, Miku, you can pick your nose and you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your friend's nose. Not without consent. We all have questions. They testified to the phone being an issue. So here's what we know about the phone, okay? We know that the phone was found underneath Abby's body, under a shoe, under Abby. That's what I understand. So, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Actually, yeah, let me do that because now I'm going to share the actual exhibits as they were posted on the CCS feed. 1 second. Mavhawk. Everyone going live at the same time tonight. I don't know who to watch. I have no input. I'm biased. So here's something interesting. This is what the exhibit originally, would look like. So we've got our filing stamp. We've got our photo. We've got our phone here. Everybody see this? Filing stamp filed February 2nd, 2024. Exhibit 10, state's exhibit, right? Now, am I in crazy world or is this a crime scene photo? It certainly looks like a photo that was taken at the crime scene, right? Hello, Connie Dillman, my love. Good to see you. Connie says phone was not found under anything. We got questions now. We got questions. What do you mean you don't know? Hey, everyone, says Connie. All right. So these certainly look like crime scene photos to me, which is weird because if I'm not mistaken, right before sentencing, Nick McClellan himself, the prosecutor, filed a motion to seal indefinitely all crime scene photos. Does anyone else remember that? Now, what I don't know, which we're about to find out, is did the prosecutor include a caveat in that request that had to do with the bodies of Liberty German and Abigail Williams? Hi, Hammy. Hammy is driving. Hello, ham sauce, ham and beans. More than one phone, says Connie. This is a great thought. I've got questions. I definitely have questions. I have a lot of questions, in fact. I feel like I do need some gray hues, like background music, like every time I say that, I get hard no's all across the board. But what you gonna do? Here it is. All right. Let's take a look, see if the prosecutor did his own motion to seal. Wouldn't be the first time. Wouldn't be the first time. It happens. He says, oh my goodness, look at all the emojis. Look at all the emojis. Dick face. I don't know what dick face is. I can't see it because I'm on StreamYard. It's going to be a suspense. I'm going to have to just wait in suspense. All right. Well, as of December 21st, the morning of sentencing, Cletus McDickcheese filed a motion that we're going to read together. Maybe. Motion to seal and keep confidential crime scene photos and autopsy photos. Now comes the state of Indiana. Oops, not sharing. There we go. Now comes the state of Indiana by the prosecuting attorney, Nicholas McCletus, respectfully requests that the court enter an order sealing the crime scene photos. Period. Seems pretty black and white to me. Crime scene photos. Source, did we mean to do that? I don't think so. That's okay. Can we undo that? Thank you. So here's my question. What constitutes a crime scene photo? I don't know. No, you didn't do anything, Source. You're good. You are okay. You are all good. We got it. We got you. Order sealing the crime scene photos, autopsy photos, and reports of mental health and medical records. We also request the court seal all crime scene photos, autopsy photos, and reports handed over to the defensive party discovery. All right. So pictures from the crime scene of the murder. That seems pretty clear to me. Pictures from the crime scene. So then here's my next question. What constitutes violating a court order? For example, Nick McClellan wants all of the crime scene photos sealed. Now, if I'm the defense, I might think that doesn't feel very fair, because I would believe, I might argue that some of the sticks and some of the things found at the crime scene support the innocence of our client, and our theory of the crime, and the fact that the state doesn't know shit about fucking everything they've put forth is nonsense. So perhaps I want to share photos from the crime scene that don't include the bodies. Maybe I want to share the sticks. Maybe I want to share the puddle of blood with the weird stick formation on top of it. Maybe I want to share the tree. Maybe I want to share other things about the crime scene. Maybe I want to share the phone under the shoe. But then here's my next question. Where's the fucking shoe? Because we know that the phone was found under a shoe under Abby. Excuse me, I need to blow my nose. I'm about to sneeze. I believe Barbara probably did crop these photos, to which my next question would be, fucking why? Why would we crop photos? If we're referencing exhibits that are filed publicly, why would we crop them? Don't we think the public can crop them themselves? That's just weird. It seems confusing. It seems like a good way to confuse people. But then again, who knows? Nothing makes sense. This is also true. Great. Now I have generational yellow. Court orders only apply to certain people. Barbara had an OG unmarked photo. Well, we did ask, I believe Barbara was asked that question. When was the first time you saw these photos, Barbara? And she said, trial. So who knows? Why are there 2 Logansport attorneys assigned to defend Alan's appeal? I imagine that would be his appellate attorneys, Stacy and Mark Lehman, unless I'm thinking of something different, in which case, I'm not sure. I'd have to look. Yeah, if you're going to release them in full, not cropped. To be fair, it doesn't look like she cropped the photos themselves. She just cropped the exhibit number out of it. But it's just odd to me because when I pull up Barbara's pictures, open image in new tab. I don't know. It kind of seems like better quality photo than what was on the exhibit too, right? Or no? Maybe not. Maybe I'm being ridiculous. I honestly don't care too much about that though. Like, I'll be real. Once I realized that she shared and that these had already been posted publicly by the prosecutor, I was kind of over it because whether she got them from, who cares, right? They're public. And my stance is it should all be out. It should all be out there. But it did create a little bit of confusion. Okay. Moving on. That was the first thing that happened today that I thought was interesting. Where did he post them? Publicly? Well, okay. Publicly, I'm using that word very loosely. I think that they were posted on the CCS because they appeared in a public, they were shared by a member of the public who had access to, what is it called? You know how like some people can pull the public filings and some people can't? What's that called? Gatekeeping. Let's see. You can't click on that, but Yellow, thank you for sharing. There's the link to the pictures. We have 2. Oh, God. Yeah, we are pro releasing all the exhibits, all of them. Ginger Snap says, the only 2 documents that I can download from the CCS are the judgment and the sentencing docs. That makes sense. They are public. Why did no one else have access to the pictures? So it looks like they're public because they were filed on the CCS, whatever the fudge, and you can download or access those if you are an attorney, right? Or maybe not. Response to a motion. Maybe attorneys can see them, right? Does that sound right? Anybody who knows would love to know. So this is what the CCS looks like for a non-attorney. I am not logged into anything. And all that I can see on my end is what was filed yesterday, which was the motion to intervene by NBC and Dateline, asking for the public trial exhibits, and Nick McClelland's response to the state or to the defense's motion to correct error. So perhaps like if you're logged in and you have that attorney access, you can see them. Or maybe once you're in, yeah, I don't really know. I just know that they're public. Which attorney had it? Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, mystery solved. McClellan filed them. Why did he decide for the first time ever to include exhibits that were available to the public in his filing? Anyone? Anyone have a thought as to why he might decide to share all of a sudden? Because that's not all he shared. That is not all he shared at all. I'm so curious. Dick face wanted a. What is the dick face emoji? Oh, Connie, I don't know if you can see the chat, but Courtney, the other half of my brain, the other blondie, Courtney says, at Connie Dillman, my hero. Nick thinks he's smart. He's overly confident in himself. Indeed. What I really wanted to talk about, because there are people who know more than I do about pretty much everything, let's be real, but I'm not going to get too far into the weeds about the cell phone or the headphone jack argument, because I feel like I just trust Stacey Eldridge. But I do have questions as to why, like, for example, why is there so much dew on that phone? If it was under a shoe under Abby and they were found at noon, like, how long did we wait to photograph that phone once we removed the shoe and the body from it? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Just seems weird to me. Anyway, that's not even what pissed me off the most today. I mean, that I was like, oh, look, more bullshit, right? More fucking bullshit. But if bullshit means that we get access to exhibits that are public. Oh, am I muted? No, I'm not muted. Okay. Why is Nick always trying to discredit his own forensic evidence with different theories? I don't know. Great question. Maybe he added do. See, now I'm willing to go pretty far when it comes to like how fucked and corrupt is the state. Literally the most fucked and corrupt. Am I willing to say that the state altered or doctored these photos before? Probably not. I just don't know what are they doing? What are they doing here? Because that doesn't feel. Nick wants to disprove the withholding exhibits that should be public allegations. Mm-hmm. Nick, your phone extraction said that wired headphones were plugged in. We don't need your theories because that's all they are. Acting like Eldred made it up in her testimony. Right. What else was filed? What else did he file in addition to his weird cell phone photos? Well, let's see. Oh, my goodness. Actually, let's come back to that for a second. I want to look at. Oh, but here's Stacey Eldridge's CV that apparently Nick thought it would be a great idea to include her entire fucking CV and then talk about how she only just recently in 2023 became trained in specific cell phone data. Look at this shit. Nick McClellan, why don't we do a CV comparison? Let's see your fucking CV, you absolute clown. Like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? And this disproved Eldridge? Sir, are you okay? Anyway, we'll come back to that. Where is the motherfucking... I'm sorry. Where is the... I guess I didn't upload it. Please hold. His training is like a whole ass page. He's so odd. He's such an odd man. And now I'm going back and forth again on, is he the dumbest man alive or is he not? I don't know. I can't decide. Odd, that man. Fucking rude. He is a fucking rude ass, though. That is for damn sure. So here we go. This was another exhibit that Nick McClellan filed. I believe this was part of his argument that Rick was unrepresented at the time that he was moved into the safekeeping proceeding. Let's take a look-see. So on Thursday, November 3rd, 2022 at 9:58 a.m., Nicholas McClellan receives an email titled Richard Allen. The email reads, Nick, at this point, I do not believe that I will be hired to represent Richard Allen going forward. I want to send him a letter of disengagement so that there's no confusion. Can you confirm to me where he is so that I can send him a disengagement letter? Signed, Brett. Brett Gibson, attorney, Lafayette. So this email was sent on Thursday morning at 9:58 a.m. Basically, where is Richard Allen? This will be the end of our road together, me as his attorney. I'd like to contact him so that I can formally disengage from his case, from representing him. And oops, I'm not sharing it. My bad. Share this tab instead. Here we go. At this point, it also makes me ask who starts an email with at this point? Like, were you asked a question? Is there more to this? Was this a reply? Was this a forward? Was there some kind of unresolved question lingering? Or was this just you, Brett Gibson, felt like just letting the attorney, keeping the prosecutor abreast as to his representation of the defendant? I don't know. Seems like if my concern is finding my client to disengage, I wouldn't be like, hey, prosecutor, here, Brett Gibson's sus as fuck. Let's just like get that out there. I don't know what his deal is. I know that he took $5,000 from Kathy Allen and then decided to send this email to the prosecutor. The subject line is just Richard Allen. So I like that his email is, this is funny. His email is literally just BG. Okay. BG at Brett Gibson at BGG. Anyway, so the issue that I have with that is that, where's my tweet where I lay it all out? I'll find it. Don't worry. Don't worry, Cletus. We found BG. Bibby Gibson. So Nick McClellan and the state would very much like for us to believe that Richard Allen was without counsel, and so they couldn't inform his counsel of whatever. However, he's also pretending like he basically wants it both ways. Nick McClellan receives an email from the only semblance of an attorney that Richard Allen had at that point. And that attorney basically says, I don't know where he is, and I'm no longer going to be representing him. Most likely moving forward, I'd like to disengage, send him a disengagement letter. So in order to disengage, you have to be engaged. So he had an attorney. The next thing that is really odd is Sheriff Lesenby did not file that safekeeping request on November 2nd. I don't care what anybody says, he didn't. And most people, I think at this point, agree that safekeeping happened very quickly in order to disappear the man. What's weird is that we didn't really know why, what triggered it. Like, what triggered that safekeeping transition? What triggered that safekeeping move? Well, maybe now we know. So since the prosecutor struggles with facts, here they are laid out. So on November 3rd, 2022 at 9:58 a.m., we just read Brett Gibson emails the prosecutor. He alerts the prosecutor that he likely won't be taking Rick's case moving forward and asks where Rick's being held. Odd that he still doesn't know where his client is being held, because at that point, that was his attorney. Why don't I know where he's being held? I don't know. That's weird. So at 9:58, the prosecutor gets an email. I don't know where Rick is, and I'm not going to be his attorney anymore. And he goes, oh my God. At around 11 a.m., Sheriff Lesenby's safekeeping request is officially filed on the record, or on the docket, whatever. It shows up. It was not filed on November 2nd, like the prosecutor would like you to believe. It's just dated November 2nd on the safekeeping request, which, mind you, was served upon nobody. Nobody was officially served with that document. They love to do a backdate in Carroll County. There's literally no indication that that document even existed before November 3rd, 2022. Zero. Had the sheriff actually served it on someone, we might know differently. But that didn't exist prior to November 3rd. November 3rd, less than an hour after Lesenby's request is filed, Judge Diener orders Rick moved. Bloodlust. Oh my God. Bloodlust. Too many reporters asking questions. Cool. So Nick gets the green light. This guy's unrepresented and nobody knows where he is. And so they literally move as fast as they possibly fucking can and move him to DOC. And that's it. There you have it, folks. So that's weird. I don't know that Nick McClelland meant to give us an exact time of when the safekeeping fuckery commenced, but he sure did, and I appreciate him for that. Thank you, Nick. That's been a question on my mind for 2 years. What happened on November 2nd and 3rd that instigated, what was the catalyst for this rapid move into DOC? Well, Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer. I miss him. I appreciate the daily poll. What's the daily poll? Oh, is that a DB? What's the daily poll? I don't even want to know. Don't even tell me. I'll check later. I like the surprise. Hey, this guy's attorney is probably not going to actually represent him. Should we offer to appoint him one? No, let's shove him in a hole. Let's take this opportunity to shove him in a hole. Diener's related to one of the prosecution's lawyers, right? Welcome. Hello, nice to see you. I think so by marriage, but it's been hard for us to actually nail down exactly what that relation is. So we've got JBD, Judge Benjamin Diener, Judge, and Stacy Diener, who is the second, third chair for the prosecution. I believe related by marriage, but I'm also not sure. I'm not sure. I can't seem to get stepmother. Okay. So married maybe to his father. That makes sense. Every day I ask if we like the stream or if we like it. That's awesome. Odd. Nick doesn't think it's important for people to be represented. He doesn't. Which is weird because he was a defense attorney before he was a prosecutor. Which, whatever. Man, whatever. That's all I have to say. What the fuck ever. I also really like that in his responses to the motion to correct error, at no time does he spend any energy refuting the fact that the defense accuses him of eliciting false testimony or not correcting false testimony. At no time does he hey, wait a minute, I take umbrage. No umbrage to be seen. No umbrage to be found. Instead, he argues that the defense should have caught this sooner. They had the discovery. Why didn't they catch it? Why didn't they use it? Why didn't they call it out? So did you elicit false testimony and fail to correct false testimony or not? Because we know you did. But he's like, yeah, but it's the defense's job to catch it. Oop. Gotcha. Gotcha. This guy's really, really, really dumb. I see Nick Umbridge. Look at all of these emojis, my God. Oh, I can see them on the iPad. Oh my God. Man. Judgy is still stunned at Nick's responses. We are going to go over a couple other things. Actually, we're going to go over a lot of things. If I can get my Google Drive to load, we will. Let's unpick his bullshit. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what else I'm wondering, too? Like, so, okay, at what point does the defense get to release their like, I suspect, what am I trying to say? If the prosecutor is going to set the precedent, which he's done from day one, like he very much sets the precedent. He very much sets the tone. He's the one that gets to do the thing and decide what's allowed. And then, I mean, the defense, if they were to follow suit, would probably get clapped because the rules don't apply to everybody equally. But if we're just going to start sharing public exhibits, like, let's fucking go then. What's the holdup? Let's just share them then. That's how I feel. If I'm the defense, I'm going to start sharing shit. I'm not, obviously, but that's what probably needs to happen. You know what would get him probably in the good graces of NBC and Dateline? Just give them what they asked for. Give them the video. But he won't. You won't, bitch. We know he won't. Why can't I open this? If I were on that council, I would have just said, well, did you know what the job paid before you begged the public to hire you? Right? He's not very smart. Does this not open the door? Asks Amanda. I mean, I think what opened, that's a great question, Amanda. Should it? Yes. I think, though, what really opened the door was the fact that this is snarky, not towards you, Amanda. What opens the door, look what I did, is that we live in the United States of America. And in the United States of America, we have public trials that are open to the public. How do I get this to stop? Anyway, I don't know. Kathy got Rick a lawyer day one. Lesenby showing everyone his authority. He's above the law. Connie, you could not be more right. You're absolutely right. Poor Kathy. Kathy did get him a lawyer, and that lawyer seems to suck. But even so, you're allowed to have, like, you can be a shitty lawyer. What you can't do is be a prosecutor and just totally pretend like the Sixth Amendment's not important. He literally outlined in how many paragraphs in his response to the motion to correct error, Nick McClellan basically said, the Sixth Amendment doesn't actually matter. It's really not that big a deal. You're being dramatic. It only matters at a critical stage. That's basically what he said. What do I do about this, y'all? Just leave it? Just ignore it? I don't know. Asha Hari said, Asha Harry says he's got law cunning. They all do. Nick should hire some good legal counsel, maybe Baldwin and Rosie. They were very aware of Rick's lawyer, but then he quotes case law that doesn't say what he thinks he says. Yeah, he's very dumb. He's very, very dumb. Hello, Jamie. Good to see you. Jamie says, hi, Angie. Hello. I think Judge Gold may be in a pickle. If she doesn't hold a hearing, then the appeals court gets to review all of it, right? If she doesn't want the appeals to consider it, she holds a hearing, right? That's a great question, Belle, ma'am. I don't actually know. I don't know. This is also a great point. Maybe the lawyer didn't suck. Maybe it was just the prosecutor and the sheriff trying to dodge him. This is about to make me really, really. I'm about to lose my composure. Composure is not something that I would say that I have often, but I'm not trying to lose it this early. Let me restart. Mr. Max Lewis, guest lawyer, said hold a hearing. He sure did. We're going to play that clip. We are going to play that clip because we're also going to talk about Ricky Davis. Because poor Ricky Davis is just getting drug over the fucking coals for something that he did 5-6 years ago, trying to do the right thing. And Nick McClelland's like, I don't know what to keep talking about. He's like, what's his name? Reese. Connie says, remember, Nick has been caught before exposing himself. That's a great point, Connie. Yeah, he has been caught exposing himself in more ways than one. Try wiping it off with a cloth. I don't have a cloth, but I have a Kleenex. I've done that though. It's like it's in like bad focus mode. It like thinks that I'm close, but I'm far. It's very annoying. And I would say that it does this more often than not. And then sometimes if I disappear from the frame and then I come back, it like confuses it into working again. Whatever. I'm just going to keep going. Reese Pieces. So poor Reese Davis. We learned in the filing yesterday that Reese Davis actually requested a polygraph. That was at his own request. Now, why would he do that? I don't know. Perhaps he was trying to get somebody to listen to him and they were like not listening to him. Maybe he was like, no, I swear, in fact, come polygraph me. You know what I'm saying? Like in what world would that be necessary? Why would somebody with information relevant to an unsolved double homicide of children, like he's not in prison for a violent offense. He's not in prison for like deception or fraud or lying or conning. Reese Davis is literally in prison because he called the police on himself because he was back on meth and he was like freaking out. That's why. So if anything, Reese Davis is in the hole because he put himself there because he's too honest. He basically got, and he got screwed. Anyway, should you do a meth? I have no opinion on that. You can do it if you want. Should you manufacture and sell it? Not ideal. Don't do that. It's illegal and it's also dangerous. Certainly don't do it anywhere near a location that the state could say is like a school or whatever. I also heard that Reese had a neurological disorder. I think the phone they share aren't from the crime scene. More than one phone was found days after. I bet it's one of those. Elder Midwest Millennial, welcome. If that is, in fact, the case, then that's really bad because they're presenting this as if it's... Here's another thing. Not only are polygraph examinations, some say pseudoscience, some say not even rising to the level of pseudoscience, which is true. Polygraph examinations don't actually assess for truthfulness or dishonesty at all. They assess for your physiological reactions or your physiological state. So what? Pulse, heartbeat, blood, I don't know what breathing, I don't know. And then they subjectively turn that data, that physiological data that has nothing to do with your truthfulness or deception or anything psychological or mental at all. It's just physiological. It's how your body responds. It takes that data and it spits it out into something. And then a subjective, non-medical person non-scientist person, non-trained person in anything having to do with any of that, looks at it, looks at the data that has nothing to do with truthfulness, and then makes a subjective determination about it. A couple things can impact the data, the physiological responses of a person who's being polygraphed. Medication, right? If you're on medication or not, anxiety, right? Fear, anxiety, nerves. And they like to say that that doesn't impact the test, but it does. What else can impact it? Certain neurological conditions. For example, Reese Davis, I believe, now I'm not diagnosing him. I feel like we saw this. Didn't he put this in the text message that he sent to Case by Case? He has Tourette's. Oh, Tourette's is a literal neurological disorder. Is he on any medication for his Tourette's? I don't know. But Tourette's is probably a condition that you'd want to keep in mind, and maybe not the best candidate for a polygraph examination. I might be really nervous taking polygraph in general, especially if I have Tourette's. I don't know, like, it's just insane. It's insane that we're still using these. Polygraph examinations are not admissible in court at all. They're not admissible for the reasons that we just all cranked about. Connie says, I hate how Nick is very demeaning towards the defense. I totally agree with you, Connie. He's very demeaning towards the defense. He insults them outright. It's very unprofessional. It's very, very unprofessional. This is a great, great comment by Mary Ann. Somebody should go interview Reese and see if his statement matches the letter. Well, funny you should say that, because, please hold. Judgy says, off topic. TLC has a new show with a girl with Tourette's, and she's so lovely. I believe it. Okay, I'm loading one thing. I think I have at least.
Against any consideration of an alleged confession to the murders made by Ron Logan, who owned the property where the girls' bodies were found. That confession was supposedly made to Logan's prison mate, Ricky Davis, who the prosecutor says failed a polygraph test. But Tompkins says that's not good enough to dismiss it outright.
There is no such thing as a lie detector. It does not exist. Polygraphs are really pseudoscience.
After the initial defense filing, we put in a request to speak with the inmate who Ron Logan supposedly confessed to. The Indiana Department of Corrections asked us to send them the topics for our interview, which we did. Well, this morning, we got our denial telling us that it was because of safety and security concerns, and no more than that. In the newsroom.
Huh. So basically, the literal news reporter, I don't know if Max Lewis himself requested. Max Lewis does a lot of requests, actually. He was really pretty persistent in his requests for information about the Indiana Department of Corrections use of whatever drugs they were using to carry out their executions. And he had asked months and months in advance of Jonathan Corcoran's execution. He was trying to get information about what drugs the state of Indiana, taxpayer money, was being put forth to purchase, which drugs were being used for the executions. He never got that answer, but all of that to say, he is pretty good about doing public information requests. And it sounds like after the motion to correct error was filed, he did ask to interview Reese, Mr. Davis. I'm just going to call him Davis because I keep getting his name wrong. And that's not an unusual request. Anyone can put in a request to talk to any inmate in IDOC. I imagine that the news has to do it a certain way, maybe like journalists or media have a certain way that they have to do it instead of just like contacting them directly. I don't know. If it were me, I probably would have just tried to get on his call list. I probably would have tried to circumvent IDOC bureaucracy, but whatever. And anyway, IDOC got back to, yes, Bellman, I'm going to pull up. Case by Case did a great live the other night, and she shared some of their insights from the conversations that they've had with Mr. Davis, who still feels very strongly and is very adamant about everything that he said. He's not backing down on anything. In fact, we're going to talk about that in a second. Sometimes DOC makes media pay for interviews. That makes sense. In this case, that makes sense. DOC said, "Oh, okay, you want to talk to Mr. Davis? Cool. Give us a list of what do you want to talk about? What are you going to talk about? What are you going to ask him? What are you guys going to talk about?" And Max Lewis and CBS 4 was like, okay, here's our list of topics that we're going to talk about. And DOC got back to them and said, denied. Safety and security. Safety for whomst? How is allowing Mr. Davis to exercise his First Amendment right, which, by the way, he still has. You still have a First Amendment right when you're in prison. You're still protected by the Constitution of the United States. Did you know that? Whomst is unsafe by this request. Fortunately, Mr. Davis has already talked to people. So we're going to talk about what Mr. Davis talked about. Yellow Jacket, our Lord and Savior, did a really good job of pulling out some of the most relevant parts of the case by case. Is it case by case? I'm pretty sure it's case by case. Here is a link to that live in its entirety. Go watch it if you haven't. We're going to pull out certain parts. Thank you, DB. Awesome. It's like he's in my brain, reading my mind. That's a scary thought. I feel like this table is about to collapse on me. Can you hear it? It's really struggling. It's like every time I move, it's doing a noise. I don't know if you can hear it. It's making me nervous. Reese Davis. So Reese says that it was 2017. He's talking about his conversations with Ron Logan. That table says, yeah, it does. What you been doing on that table? It's one of those, like, you can, like, put it down and put it up and put it down and put it up. And I put it up when I do lives, but I feel like it's getting ready to, it's probably on its last legs. Get it? Legs. Okay. The bolts need tightened. Lindsay, you're so right. 100%. Guarantee you that's exactly what's going on here. Guarantee. So Mr. Davis said the following about Ron. When he came here on his probation violation, I kind of befriended him because he seemed scared at first from it being his first time down here, his first time in prison, long term. I spoke to him, I being Mr. Davis and him being Ron Logan. I spoke to him daily, and Ron Logan had a breakdown, a bad one. He thought he was going to get charged anytime, and he was worried that certain evidence was still out there and that it may be found. Fortunately for Mr. Logan, any evidence that's still out there, don't worry. You are in no danger of anything being found because ain't nobody fucking looking for it. So you're in luck. Mr. Davis says, I spoke to some agents who were hellbent on not willing to hear an inmate out. I told them exactly how he, Ron, said that the girls were killed and even more. It is all a mess, and I promise there's a lot more to the story. The prosecutor is well aware of all of this, and he hid it from the public just to obtain conviction of Allen. Prosecutor was aware of all of this, hid it from the public. Oh, don't get me wrong, something offenders sickens me to death, but this prosecutor's lied to the public this entire time. Logan's family are good with the prosecutor. Logan told me if he was elected, he meaning the prosecutor, if he was elected, he promised the family to modify him. Wait a second. So Nick McClellan. So this seems to me like, so modify him means modifying his sentence. Like once he was convicted and sentenced, or not convicted, he pled. So once he was sentenced to his time in prison, this is Ron Logan we're talking about, they would modify his sentencing, thank you, to home detention. And he had been saying that from the beginning. He also told James Haas that exact thing. He said, I'm not too worried about it. My family knows the prosecutor's family, and basically I'm gonna get my sentence modified. He was certain about it. Yeah. So it sounds like, I mean, that is consistent with what he told James Haas as well. Was this to do with him being given house arrest instead of prison? Yes, exactly. That is exactly what it refers to. Hold on one second, y'all. Don't go away. All right. So continuing. And this is first person. So this, as I'm reading it, this is coming from Mr. Davis, Reese PC Davis. He says, don't get me wrong, child offenders sickened me to death, but the prosecutor lied to the public the entire time. Ron Logan's family are good with this prosecutor, and Logan told me that if the prosecutor, Nick McClellan, was elected, he promised Logan's family to modify him, as he did even after being made aware of Logan's role. You would shit a brick if I explained it, but it's been a cover-up from 2017. This quick conviction was only to shut up the public and gain the election. It is ate up and sad as it gets. The prior prosecutor was the one who should have remained in office. I would have helped had this solved, knowing of who all was involved. But whatever, the reason this has been handled as suspicious as it gets, and truth is they knew the truth the entire time. They had enough to solve it back then. Hell, I couldn't have known all that happened in 2017. And then case by case, I believe that this was case by case is guessed, right? Newcastle is the prison for people with health problems, asked Judge Jessica. Yes. And Connie says, Reese Davis was supposedly only allowed to provide 2 paragraphs with ISP in his interview in May 2017. Yep, 100% Connie. That is also what he also said that. And I believe that because we don't have more than that. He also said that he was only asked one question. Actually, I think he might get into that here. So case by case's guest, I think, is the one who's in direct contact with Reese, but correct me if I'm wrong on that. But the guest said she did ask him what the evidence was that Ron was fearful of, and one of the things he said was there were 2 burn pits, burned their clothes and shoes. The boots that Ron burned were steel-toed boots, and he was worried they didn't burn completely and that they were going to be found because he was arrested the day before they served the search warrant. That's what he was scared about the most, steel-toed boots. Reese goes on to say, I've done everything in my power to get the Carroll County prosecutor to hear this out. They completely avoid every letter. There's letters? Does the defense have those letters? I mean, for whatever reason, the reasons are they truly had not wanted to solve this case. There's nothing to gain from being considered a prison snitch. In fact, there was an agent who came in 2017 who was determined before the conversation that I was going to lie. So Reese is saying here that even in 2017, when an agent, the word agent is interesting. An agent came to talk to him. DB, no one runs a paragraph out like you boy. An agent, you say. Could that agent have been well, I don't know who it was. Perhaps FBI. Perhaps it was, what's his face? Richie? Rich Davies? Is that the FBI agent? The FBI agent that was on the task force? That little fucking weasel of a man? Case by case is the lady who talks to him. Okay, so case by case then talk to him. This interview was since the motion to correct error came out, Ems, in Crevin World. So within the last 2 weeks, maybe, she spoke to Mr. Reese P.C. Davis. So in 2017, an agent, whether that's the same person that he's referring, like, is he referring to the polygrapher who came to talk to him with ISP? Is he referring to another agent, like an FBI agent? I don't know. I tend to think that Rich Davies, this sounds like something Rich Davies would do. But when the person came to talk to him, he was like determined before the conversation even started that Reese Davis was going to lie. In fact, says Mr. Davis, I offered to wear a wire on Ron just because I was so offended and wanted them to see for themselves. When they came up to the prison and they flat out declined the offer, it was mind-blowing to me. Do you know who else offered to wear a wire? James Haas offered to wear a wire while he was in Carroll County Jail with Ron. And they apparently did not take him up on that offer. Is that something that would have worked? Probably not. Is it something they can even do legally? I don't know. But so then case by case asked Mr. Davis about pleading the 5th. He said he never said that. From what he was told, Richard Allen's witnesses were denied. Okay, so this, I imagine, has to do with before trial, the defense filed 4 transport orders for 4 witnesses that they intended or would like to have called, right? That included Reese Davis, James Haas, James Brian Chadwell, and Kagan Klein. 4 transport orders filed. So I guess the rumor must be that he pled the 5th, right? That they didn't want to, that those witnesses were not going to be cooperative or were not going to. That's so, isn't that okay, doesn't matter. So she asked him about that. And Mr. Davis refuted that. He said, that's not, I never said that. All of Richard Allen's witnesses were denied. I never refused anything, though, just so you know. Just so you're personally aware, I was going to do it. I just want to be assured that cameras were not in my face as part of going in. That seems pretty fair. So he did offer to wear a wire, and they refused. Amy, listen. There's another victim. House arrest was 1 week after Nick became prosecutor. You're right, Connie. It was. Shit, Connie. You're right. January 2018. Damn, Connie. Yeah, because he became prosecutor January. Yeah. whenever that starts. I don't know if it's the 1st of January or what, but his term would have started the January, and Ron got out, I think, like the 2nd week of January. Interesting. Mr. Reese Davis tells Amy, listen, there's another victim Logan was preying on, and they're still out there. Logan said she would come help him on the farm, brushing horses. She was 11 years old, and he would do stuff with her. She freaked out and left, and he wanted to catch her, knowing that she may tell on him. Almost certain she was going to come out since Abby and Libby ordeal. It seems clear she didn't, or I assume she didn't anyway. I wish that she would help solidify Ron Logan's sickness to establish something. I know that he passed away. It's a huge piece that's been missing to connect the rest. Ron told me a story that one of the girls' moms was either a waitress or a bartender, he can't remember which, came to him when the media was around, telling Ron, hey, I know you have nothing to do with it. And he was telling me it made him go break down, being he knew it really was him, and he felt terrible. Yeah, he felt so terrible. I can tell you based off what he said, the girls were pretty much forcefully removed from the bridge. One detail that's not been out there that I was told was when they were taken from the bridge, they were handcuffed, wrist to wrist, marched back to Logan's property. I don't know. This is redacted. This is from the live, case by case live. Not that I don't believe him, but that's interesting. I don't know why I said no, I don't believe that. I would literally believe anything at this point. That's a very interesting detail. Wonder if they ever looked for that. Skinny says this part is cringeworthy. Maybe they would have. I don't know. I don't know if I can see this, but whoever said they were moved was incorrect. They were moved. Libby was moved 3 times. Abby 1 or 2 during the search period to the final place before daylight. Libby, he said, was still breathing. They kept them closer to the property, off the boundaries, hidden where it was to be walked along. You'd need to know the property or you could miss it, whatever that means. Originally, Ron told me this story, then it shifted sometime later. It wasn't just him. Did not back then believe Ron regarding anyone else. I truly did not. I thought he had got cold feet. I was guessing, so having a hard time reading that, y'all. But this is all on her live. Tried to get rid of evidence, burn the clothes. So that's sad. Now, I don't know. Miku says, I remember a rumor about Libby dying in the ambulance. I did speak to someone local who would know this information, and it's not anyone that we know of publicly at all, who told me in confidence that whether or not Abby was still alive, who knows, but that they did originally request an ambulance when the girls were found. Like medical. I don't know if they also requested the coroner bus. I just know that they did request an ambulance, which is interesting. Hey, Dom. Oh, goodbye, he said. Bye, Dom. I'm sorry I missed you. I haven't been reading the chat. Good to see you, Dom. All right. This is what Nick put in his response, isn't it? Wait. He did put something in his response about moving girls. Hey, Ayatu. Abby or Libby, I thought Abby was drained. Well, so what's interesting about the phone photos that Nick shared is that the state claims that the girls were killed there and that Abby was still alive enough that she shimmied her body on over that cell phone to hide it from the killer. There's not a drop of blood on that phone from what I could see. So that's weird. I don't know. That's just weird. Another thing I don't know enough about, Connie says, Ron is perverted. He's sick. Yeah, sure is. Another thing that I don't know is that, like, so if somebody is killed in a way other than like a stabbing, right? If they're killed by blunt force trauma or from or strangulation or asphyxiation or some other means, right, that doesn't involve stabbing or loss of blood. Let's say that they're killed and then afterwards they're stabbed or cut. Obviously they wouldn't bleed, right? If their heart's not beating, at least not after a while. I don't know if exsanguination accounts for internal bleeding. I have no idea. This might be the dumbest thing I've ever said. I'm just thinking, like, why is there no blood at the scene? Other than she's not killed there. I don't know. Thanks, Connie. Good to see you, Angel. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing with us, Connie, says Nicole. Court said no fingerprints or DNA on the phone from either girl. I have a lot of questions about the damn phone. Do y'all remember when Wish TV put out the blog and, oh, DB says that could literally be the luminol that they sprayed on the scene on the screen that dry. True. Yeah, I don't know. We need a dew expert. We need a Mountain Dew expert. I think Nick meant that she hid the phone figuratively, not literally. God, he's so dumb. Regardless, just like everything else, even the girls' autopsies were botched and rushed. Why aren't the families livid? So, oh, Miku, this is good. This is helpful. My partner almost died from internal bleeding when his artery was severed in his stomach. I don't know if exsanguination is caused by internal injuries. That's interesting. A moisture expert, huh, Luke? You don't say. There was no blood on Abby's clothes, just under her neck. There was for sure not enough blood on or around Abby for that to make any sense at all. Even Cicero, even the anemic blood thinner man who decided to use his own blood to recreate the crime scene also came out and said, yeah, you're right. There really was not much blood at the scene and Abby's hands were completely clean. Very unusual. I read that it's called internal exsanguination if it's internal. Thanks, Steves. Thank you. I almost died when my best friend stabbed me. Shit, that's scary. I'm sorry. I'm sorry your best friend stabbed you. I'm glad you didn't die. We're gonna keep it moving, y'all, because we got more things that were filed. Yellow Jacket? Oh, DB says I'm not trying to be annoying. I think that they would specify it was internal. Okay, gotcha. That's fair. You're probably right. I thought you were doing a lull one to me. With friends like that, who needs enemies? Corky, I'm about to go over this discovery list. If you want to come on. You don't have to. You don't have to, I say, as if she would ever think that she would have to. As if I could boss Corky around. Let's be real. The issue is the word literally means blood, excessive blood, and the process is bleeding out. You can also bleed out internally. I'll have to ask my medical lady lawyer person. You don't have to try to be annoying, Deebs. Courtney's making chicken spaghetti. That sounds amazing. I don't know what chicken spaghetti is other than, is it just spaghetti and you're also making chicken and then doing it together? He's still your closest friend. Okay, well, be careful. doesn't, that seems like the kind of mistake or the kind of like fluke accident or not that wouldn't happen twice. So maybe you're safe. It's white, creamy spaghetti, says Courtney. That sounds good. The medical examiner said that Abby had to be dressed before she was cut or the blood would be on the clothes, and it wasn't. That's so weird. So they're saying that, I mean, that makes sense. So Abby would have had to have been clothed in the same clothing. Otherwise, when they reclothed her, it would get on the clothes. But if she's wearing those clothes when she suffers the fatal stab wound to her neck, you would think that the blood would be on the clothes if they were on her. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? It was an accident. We were kickboxing and he grabbed a knife and well, accidents happen, Skinny. I have no further questions. It would mean she was not right side up. Right. Right. Great point. Upside down like a deer. Right. Exactly. That makes sense. Because otherwise, either way, it doesn't make sense. There's no blood on her clothing. Doesn't make sense. Does not make sense. And that phone 100% was under a shoe. Under Abby. 100%. I know for a fact. Courtney's still talking about chicken spaghetti. More of a country folk dish than Italian. Camel cream and mushroom. I am allergic to one thing. Mushrooms. Blood was on the sweatshirt around hoodie on the backside laying down. All right. Discovery list. I think Deebs is still in here. Deebs, are you still in here? So I was gonna share the one that you made, but I'm not entirely sure if I understand how to like the parse 1, 2, 3. Can you real quick tell me how I should do it? Or if it's not done, like if we're not right, I'll just share the actual document. I don't know. You tell me. Yup. Oh, okay. Yup. What? Should I share it? Okay. Is it all included on you put all of it on here? Damn. That's everything? Like it's all on here? Oh, yep, I am still here, which is the question you asked me. Okay, cool. Cool, Deeds. He's a sassy boy, for sure. Sure is. So, something else that was filed today. God. Okay. I'm going to share this one. My goodness. My goodness. Discovery notice, something or other. Discovery, what is it called? Allen physical discovery. Oh, I'm not sharing. Okay. So this was filed with another, what was this for? What was he even trying to show? This was, I think, this is the state, this is McClelland trying to be like, look, the defense had all of this for all this time, and they're going to try and pretend like they didn't, but it's newly discovered, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, that's fine. He doesn't understand what newly discovered means. We already knew that. Arrest Shane Evans 2025. This case is so effed. I doubt we'll ever know the truth. Gentlemen, I absolutely, y'all, it is so annoying. It is so disgusting and icky and obnoxious to me when Nick McClelland says, gentlemen. Like, please don't. Please don't say gentlemen. Michael's on Defense Diaries. So Teresa, Defense Diaries, Soon Snay, me. Who else is live right now to add to our little Delphi community pod? Oh my God, Skinny! I know who you are. I just like literally just didn't register. Skinny, you and your crew threw hands with Jerome, right? Am I thinking the right person? Sorry, I just pulled up the chat. Jerry didn't like the fact that my buddy Mark walked up and left with Jerry's girl. 2 months later, he tried to pay him back. It was just in the right place at the right time. He's a bully. He was never good at it until he started picking on smaller, weaker kids. There you go. Oh. Deeps. DB he's doing a bully on me tonight. Nick is a nasty, greasy slime ball who has no right to ever say the word gentleman. Yeah, everybody put a 1 in the chat for Skinny, who's our friend who went to high school with Jerome Blowholman, who is friends beat the snot out of him. Or no, he tried to beat the snot out of your friends, and it didn't go well for him. It's a story worth telling. It's pretty funny. Skinny, you can come on anytime. I'm going to go through this friggin' thing here. If you want to come on and talk about it, come on down. You want a link? So everybody, I feel like everybody would rather hear about the time that Jerry Holman got his ass beat by a bunch of people for being a punk ass little bitch. Look at all the support you're getting, Skinny. Oh, we went to a different high school than we did. We were just the same party one night. Gotcha. Sounds like he hasn't changed. He just has a badge now to make him seem tough. Yeah, he still does pick on smaller people, doesn't he? I wonder when we're going to get our Frank Meister interview and our, who else are we waiting for? Rosie. Rosie was going to interview him. Skinny, I don't know if you've ever been on StreamYard, but okay. I have a lot of relatives in the town that he grew up in. Interesting. What the heck happened with that? Skinny caused Jelly to become a cop. Those are always the type that end up in law enforcement, the bullies. The new superintendent pulled the plug on all of Jerry's interviews. I feel like Jerry is the one guy in high school that really wanted to be cool. And so he became a cop. Skinny says, sorry, one night I don't have any way to talk. No problem. You have an open invitation to come on anytime and tell the story or whatever story. But I don't personally know anybody who's had the absolute pleasure of throwing hands with Jerome. Ina gifted a membership. Thank you. We actually joked that night that they would likely end up. You can always tell, right? Mean girls become awful ER nurses and bullies become law enforcement. Amazing. Y'all, I'm going to refill my normal non-DB size tumbler, and I'll be right back, and then we're going to go through this list here. And it's going to be Hoot. BRB. Hi, I'm back. I'm going to try and put my Bluetooth in my ear. So if I mess this up, I'll be back. Please hold. Can you all hear me? Connie says, the deputy coroner was still in high school, got in trouble for handing out information in school about Libby and Abby. I 100% believe that. 100%. To be fair, as a high school, or like a coroner who's, what, 19, 20 at the time, I would have had a hard time not sharing information to like this coroner on a huge case, you know? Oh, it's switching. How about now? Is that better, Miku? Miku is always looking out. Switching. Okay, I think it's back. Hello? Testing. Testing. Better. Perfect. So Nick filed this today or yesterday. The following is a list of items in this physical discovery release. 1. Seagate, 3.5-inch, 2 terabyte SATA hard drive labeled as 02D2 Allen, containing Allen jail calls. Inmate phone calls made by Mr. Allen while at Carroll County Jail. Okay, pause before I get too far into this. There's no date on this, which bothers me. I know that he goes on to say when this was handed over. So I guess, okay, here it's dated at the bottom. Received by Sarah Luxembourg, Brad Rosie's assistant. So this is January 30th, 2024 is when this is provided to the defense, okay? Keep that in mind. There's a reason that is super relevant. So the legal assistant got it January 30th. Miku says all of Westville's calls up to 12/31, so the whole prison. Right. All right, so this is January 30th, 2024. For context, what was happening in the Rick Allen universe around that time? So Richard Allen's attorneys get booted off the case in October 2023. Scremin and Librato swoop in. They are appointed by Gull. Those are Gull's BFFs. Her own chief public defender, Scribrato. So from October to January 18th, 2024, Richard Allen's attorneys are Scremin and Librato. So what occurs then on December 6th, just keep in mind, on December 6th, while Richard Allen's attorneys are waiting to be reinstated by the Supreme Court, they're waiting for oral arguments to happen in a month, Scremin and Librato have visited Rick at least one time at that point. And then in the middle of the night, all of a sudden, Richard Allen gets transferred from Westville Correctional Facility to Wabash on December 6th in the middle of the night. No one knows why. We still don't know why, and we still don't know who ordered that. Just keep that in mind. So then Richard Allen's original defense attorneys, Brad Rosie and Andrew Baldwin, get reinstated by the Indiana Supreme Court on January 18th, 2024. Throughout that period of time, from the time they get kicked off in October to the time they get reinstated in January, discovery has exchanged hands multiple times because the defense, Rick's original defense attorneys were ordered by the judge, per the request of the state, to return all the discovery that they had. And then that discovery would presumably go back to the state, and then the state would then give it to Scribrato. I'm not really sure how that ended up unfolding. Lowlight says, Ange, did you do a breakdown of the time Jerry sent local police after you? Do you have a redacted copy of the paperwork available? I did do a live. It's long, but I time-stamped it to make it easier to kind of jump around because it was not super polished. My bad, but DB kind of helped me on that live. So it's titled, what is it titled? I think it's called What Jerry Did, but it is on this channel in my lives, and I believe if you just look for the thumbnail, it's Jerry's face. It's a really cool thumbnail. It's like half evil, it's all evil. It's Jerry's face, but it's cool. But I believe it was like right before trial, so it probably would have been early October of last year. And I don't have any paperwork that I've shared thus far. I do read it aloud on that live, and maybe I'll share it. But yes, Cool. Thank you. I'll find it. Miku says, undid all the discovery sorting. That was how Gull ordered it. Right. So basically, Brad and Andy had to return all the discovery they had up until that point, and then that discovery would go from the state back to Scribrato. I'm sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice, y'all. And then, thank you, Miku. And then Scrimin and Librato would get it, and then what would it? I think it would go back to the state and then back to Brad and Andy after the fact. So all of this discovery, terabytes and terabytes of discovery in many different formats, and video, audio, like whatever these drives are, these disks, filing cabinets worth of scanned shit. All of this type of chaotic, disorganized discovery is changing hands, right? That's not ideal in any circumstance, especially when you're dealing with corrupt motherfuckers like the state of Indiana. But under the best circumstances, that's a really good way for your shit to get disorganized and lost. It just feels like a really bad move. But anyway, so keep that in mind. Brad and Andy get reinstated the 18th of January, and they're still waiting for a bunch of discovery. Both the discovery that they had to give back to the state, to be given back to them, because they lost at this point months, October, November, December. They've lost like 3 to 4 months now, just through nonsense, through the state's own purposeful chaos creation. They get reinstated the 18th, and it's not until the 30th of January, 2 weeks later, does the state turn over whatever this is. This is all the discovery they're giving back to them. January 2024. I don't know if I explained that well, but that's where we're at now. So, the following is a list of the items in this physical discovery release. So all of Allen's jail calls, inmate phone calls made by Mr. Allen while at Carroll County Jail, White County Jail, and Westville. So, okay. At the time of this discovery release, he's in Wabash, and he's been in Wabash since December 6th. But they are providing all inmate phone calls made by Allen while at Carroll County, White County, and Westville. All Westville phone calls made up until December 1st, 2023. So whatever 5 days after the fact, if he made any calls, those didn't get turned over at this time. Inmate text or email data related to Mr. Allen and the GTL account, payment information provided by Westville and GTL. So GTL is whatever the company is that handles the, whatchamacallit? Not Wabash, thank you. No Wabash. Nothing post 12/2/2023. Interesting. And then, so this is the DOC stuff, and then evidence. Blair Fitbit, so Betsy Blair's Fitbit data, I guess. Geofences. That's not specific, but geofences. Neighborhood Canvas 2017. Neighborhood Canvas 2019. This part made me laugh. Filing cabinet scans. Scanned electronic digital copies of filing cabinet paper documents and any data in those files. The files were uploaded and current to this date. Any additional scans will be provided by eDiscovery. Gray's face, yes, is using the Kathy filing cabinet emojis. Kathy scans. Love that. Thank you, everyone who's here hanging out with me, by the way. I know that there are many other places that we could be right now, and I appreciate y'all. That is in no way to discourage you from going to those other places. I know that you'll find your way back to me one way or another, or I'll find you. Kathy was still scanning 2017 notes in 2023. Next up, Holder, 2016 ceremony, actual video from the Facebook feed of an Odinist ceremony. Okay, so they got that. Interviews. Connie, I think you're still in here. And if you are, I'm interested if you recognize any of these, this name in particular. But so one of the interviews, the only interview listed, March 14th, 2017. Sandra Harrison's interview and phone extraction by the FBI in San Diego, California. This file was too large for successful upload to e-discovery. Connie says, GOP, Rick Allen was transferred many times. He sure was, Kathy. Oh, I keep saying Kathy. Connie. I'm reading too many things at once. Connie, you don't have to answer this right now if you don't want to, but do you recognize the name Sandra Harrison? Because I do. And we're going to talk about it in a minute. So, but anyway, so there is an interview of Sandra Harrison woman who was interviewed on 3/14/2017. And they did an entire extraction of her cell phone. The FBI did a cell phone extraction by the FBI in San Diego, California, because that's where she lives. The file was too large for successful upload to e-discovery. I don't know what that means. So they couldn't e-discovery give it to them, so they're giving it to them in whatever other format, I believe, right? So this is everything, physical discovery release. Okay, so this is everything that they're not providing via e-discovery, if I'm understanding that correctly. And it looks like this interview was too large for e-discovery. Who the hell is Sandra Harrison? We're going to get into that in a second. Ariel says, San Diego's 2 words. As a born San Diegan, I take offense to this. As you should. I would too. Okay, anyway. Sorry, y'all. I bet they didn't have the hash value. I would like to see the 3D renderings, please. Thanks. Why do they act like technology used in this case is so mind-blowing? It seems like shit we did 2 decades ago. 100%. They were given so much bullshit and no money, so it might have been not possible for them to know because no one really knows that lady's name. Okay, let's keep going. So we'll come back to Sandra in a second. So photographs, crime scene, autopsy, and other follow-up photos. Some photograph files were too large for successful e-discovery upload. Some of these same photos may be contained in e-discovery release. 3D rendering of something. Commandeer, state police photos of crime scene, autopsy, and other investigative follow-up. German, or commander. Why did I say commandeer? Is that how you spell commander? Commander. Yeah, commander. Whoever commander is. State police photos of crime scene, autopsy, and other investigative follow-up. German, crime scene photographs. ISP, photos, December 7th, 2022. December 7th, 2022, state police photos of crime scene and other investigative follow-up by CSI technician, name and description. Now, I don't know if this date on here, reason. I don't know if this date, this 12/2 or this 12/7/2022 date is because that's when the photos were taken, or if that's when the photos were, I don't know what that means, but it certainly looks like there were photos taken by ISP on 12/7/2022. That can't be right, because why would they take photos on 12/7/2022 of a crime scene that what hasn't been a crime scene since 2017? You know? That's weird. Weird. Item 101422. So I imagine item from 101422. Photos of Richard Allen's water bottle in the interview room submitted for evidence. They took photos, y'all. They couldn't be bothered to take photos of the unspent casing in the ground, being extracted, being processed, being preserved, whatever. They couldn't be bothered to take any pictures of that. But you guys know what they did take a picture of? His water bottle. Why would you need a picture? It's almost as if they wanted to show the water bottle that they got the DNA from because they had suspect DNA. And I bet you that at least one of those poor bastards thought that surely, that DNA was going to be matched to Richard Allen's. That be a water bottle. From 10/14/22. Yeah, so it's dated. That's the title of it. I wonder if that's like when the file was like saved, right? Like they uploaded it from, I don't know, what did they fucking use Steve Mullen's Canon digital camera from 2020 or 2002? Like, why is it titled 1014? Interesting. Sandra Harrison, maiden name, question mark? Connie, I believe that let me see, actually. Her maiden name would have been, Jones. Jones. And she would be about Ron's age, maybe 1 or 2 years younger. They scanned it from the filing cabinet. Didn't Vito jam a Q-tip into Rick's mouth to get his DNA? I don't know, but I got kicked off Twitter for 2 days for saying that if Vito tried to get my buccal swab, I'd bite his hand off. Bite his fingers off. Harrisons are the elites in Delphi. Well, that makes sense. Interesting, Connie. Oops, where did that just go? Oh no. Haha. Here it is. Please hold, y'all. I promise it's worth it. I know I move slow. Slow, but worth it. I know, the big reveal. I'm trying to load this photo. You're going to know who she is. And you're going to go, oh my God, in a second. Or maybe you won't. Hold on. Wrong one. That's not her. Lindsay says, how about Nick McClelland trying to state the video of Brad Weber's van coming home couldn't have been validated as far as time based on just sun and moon activity, that with geography and shadows is how time is found. I know. It's so stupid. They used to be called sundials. He's like, the defense seems to be trying to insinuate that they could tell what time that photo was taken based on sun and moon activity. You mean like literally the way that time that we tell time? Hey, England in the house. Had a few pints at the local pub and tucking into a McDonald's, slightly inebriated. Love that. Nick can't even read an analog clock. Oh, freaking science. We are still patiently awaiting the day that Nick McClelland discovers fire. Nick was running out of time to hold Rick, 48 hours. I want to know exactly when the charges were filed. Like the day and time, right? Same. Corvus, have you got your license? Asks Luke. I've got your license. How did I do, Luke? How did I do? This case has more tentacles than a bag of octopuses. Than a bag of octopi, or as some would say, like a bag of octopussies. Here comes Miss Sandra Harrison. Y'all are very patient with me. You're going to recognize her because we just talked about her not too long ago. Ahem. Ahem. Oops. Actually, I want to share this one first. So, here we have young, damn, I shared the same one twice. Here it is. I don't know if my dear love of my life, Connie Dillman, if you're still in here. Nicole says, wow. Here we go. Members of the class of 1957 were the guests of the class of 1958 at the annual junior prom. The big event was held in the North Ballroom of Purdue University's Union Building on May 11th. The girls were very lovely in their new prom formals, and the boys very handsome in their white dinner jackets as they danced to the music of the Spotlighters and the prom's theme, Harlem Nocturne. The prom was climaxed by the crowning of the king and queen, Ron Logan and Sandra Jones. There they are, your king and queen. Interesting. Ron's prom date. Not, let's see. So why the phone extraction? Well, not Ron's first wife. They never married. I don't know if they actually, they did not marry. I don't know if they ever dated officially or seriously. However, that's not all. Now, Sandra Jones was Sandra Jones, now Sandra Harrison, because she married a Harrison. I don't know much about the Harrisons, but apparently per Connie, who I trust implicitly always and forever, says the Harrisons are real somebodies in Delphi. That's why nobody wanted to investigate him. Should they use the word climax when referring to prom? Man, this case keeps going. So 60 years later, why is she so important? Good question. Good question. I'm trying to share. Mr. and Mrs. Paul Jones announced the engagement and the approaching marriage of their daughter, Sandra, to David A. Harrison, son of Mr. and Mrs. William Harrison of Americus. You don't say. Our 1957 prom king would never do something like this. I'd drag my balls on hot shards of glass for him. Miss Jones was formerly employed by Eastern Airlines and is now employed at the Carroll County REMC in Delphi. Mr. Harrison is the sales manager at the Stephen A. Young Corporation in Florida. The couple planned to be married October 3rd. That's from the year of our Lord, 1964, y'all. So I'm trying to think. I know I'm going really slow. Y'all are being very patient. I'm going very slow, but yes, you're right, Connie. Ron did go to the prom with Sandy Jones. Sure did. I have questions. Now, Sandra and Ron remained close friends forever. And the way that, the reason that we know that, as I'm about to share. You notice that nail your life. But it includes a photo of Ron Logan holding his little dog. Put me in solitary with Reese Davis before my prom pics are online for real. I'm gonna find him. I'll find him. If they're out there, you know I'll find them, Deebs. I haven't looked, but I'll find them. Just kidding, I won't. No, I would never violate that. You have a picture of them. Yep, here it is, Connie. I don't know if you can see this, Connie. Whoops. There they are. They themselves. What are they wearing on their heads? That's so strange. It is just so odd. That McDonald's was crap. That is some crown on your head, Mr. Logan. So I don't know much that I'm comfortable saying right now about Miss Sandra Harrison's personal life. However, I do know that as recently as 2012, as recently as 2012, Sandra was still friends with Ron. She posted, she went to visit him when she was in Indiana. This is something she does whenever she's in Indiana. Remember, she lives out in California. Back home again in Indiana, she says, on September 1st, 2012. There he is. That's her buddy. Now, just knowing and being friends with Ron Logan in no way incriminates anybody. What's weird, though, is Sandra and Kathy a thing? I just feel like I can't see Kathy getting down like that, but maybe. She seems more of a guy's gal, if you know what I mean. FBI in California imaged her phone. They sure did. What's with the bad English accents? It's only bad because I'm bad at them, not because English accents are bad. DB is a baby, prom during Corona. Oh my God. Imagine. That is on here. This the mums. Oh, I see. DB. My prom was shut down due to the coronavirus. We should throw DB a prom, y'all. We should throw our king DB a prom so that he gets to enjoy the prom. Since his prom night was stolen from him by a global pandemic. Young Deebs. Okay, DB, I am going to delete like one or two of these. Don't hate me. I don't know which one to delete. Oh, I'll delete this one since you never come on lives with me anymore, so I have no need for that. Bye. Ha ha ha. Upload. He's gonna go, wow. Wow. Let me guess, wow. So This is our Ron Logan timeline that we've showed before. We've showed it many times. Ron Logan, on October 23rd, 2017, with Sandra Harrison, pens a letter to attorney Andrew Aki requesting a lesser sentence for Ron. Why would she do that? She was really, really interested in... Oops. Now I lost it again. Here it is. We are going to come back to Sandra. I was like, we'll come back to it. And then everyone was like, why? And let's be real. How many times do I say we're going to come back to something and then we never come back to it? So I'm glad that we're talking about it now. But I do want to share one thing and then keep reading this document, and then we'll come back to Sandra later, because most of what I have and know about Sandra is going to be a inference, a speculate, if you will, based on what we have. So I want to save that for a little bit later. Narcissistic find Ron Logan. DV's only like 12. He's a little bit older than 12. I believe that DV is at the very least old enough to be using the internet and not violating terms of service. Oops. That's not the right one. Mr. Aki, I'm writing concerning a client of yours, Ronald Eugene Logan. I've known Ron as well as his family since high school back in the 50s. Ron is a good person. He made a terrible judgment call, and he's had to pay a very high price. It seems the punishment is very harsh, and he's been treated like a very bad criminal. Hopefully you might get a lesser sentence for Ron, so he can return soon to his home once again. I appreciate your consideration in this matter. Sandra Harrison. He's been treated like a very bad criminal. Did that letter make a difference? I don't know. All I know is that that letter was sent at a time when Ron was being evaluated for a modification of his sentence, and then he was modified. His sentence was modified. Did it make a difference? I don't know. But they let him out, went home, detention. That was a good enough character letter. Insane. Sometimes it's about who you know instead of what you know. But I'm going to do a digress and continue reading, and then we'll go back to Sandra, because interesting. FBI trail cameras. Trail camera photographs taken of the crime scene. So that sounds like the FBI was collecting evidence after the fact, right? Interesting. J. Kramer photos. FBI crime scene photos taken by Special Agent Julia Kramer. Police and coroner reports. Carroll County Sheriff, Indiana State Police, and tip number 74. Earlier, I was like, DB, I don't know if you're still in here. I was like, Courtney, what is this tip? What is this tip for? Do a search through all of our stuff and see if you can find this tip number, C004, whatever the fuck. And DB just went, LOL. That's Rick Allen's tip 74, you doofus. Anyway. Police and coroner reports. Carroll County Sheriff report, Indiana State Police report, and the Richard Allen tip 74. Man, okay. Anyway, I guess tip 74 is like I should have known. I didn't. Anyway. Some of the reports contained in this file are also uploaded to eDiscovery. Following the eDiscovery release, we discovered that some of the files in the Indiana State Police may be incomplete or not populated in eDiscovery. Therefore, I gotta take Boone out real quick. All the files in the Indiana State Police were copied to this drive. FBI reports are attached on a separate hard drive listed below. I'm gonna do a BRB. I couldn't see the forest for the trees. Don't go away, y'all. I'm gonna be super fast this time, I promise.
Am I muted? Oh, can, can you hear me? Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I think you. Yep. I can. No, I can hear you. Yeah. I'm not really good with technology. Well, I was in the hole with Ricky. Reese, they called him. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't really remember that. I just kind of walk around and try to look befuddled. They caught me doing wind sprints up and down the hill in the backyard, and ever since then, I just kind of wander around and kind of try to look real puzzled. And so this is my puzzled face. Yeah. Kids these days, they think it's because you're an old man. Never mind. I try not to look so what's that word there? Lowers his glasses. Cantankerous. Well, yeah, I try not to look so cantankerous myself. Ron, are you dead? Are you that bitch that's been talking shit about me on the internet? So I believe you are. And that's why I clicked on this link. And is that you? Who's got somebody's got Worders? Originals? Well, I was doing well, and then I don't go and fucked it up. Trying to just watch some pornography on the internet, and they got me. I clicked on a StreamYard link. Anyways, I used to have 175 guns. Did you know that? 175 guns. Boy, they went for a pretty penny. I mean, whoever took them. Yeah, keep a stash of them on me just in case the judge needs them. Anyways, I've been in witness protection. I don't know, damn near. What? It's been what? 3 years? 3 years. Well, I bet my tropical fish are dead. God damn it! I spent at least, what was it, $75 on them fish or something like that or whatever. Fucking stupid fucking fish. Made my house smell like a fucking turtle. Made my whole house smell like a dirty turtle. What the fuck? Oh, god damn it, motherfucker.
Hey. Oh, there he goes. Profanity. Ronald, profanity. My goodness. That's not how an old man's supposed to talk. Lindsay says, I'm not sure I personally believe that Ron could have accomplished these crimes alone. That's totally fair. I think that, oh God, this I can handle. This one I can do.
Hey, wait a second.
Shut up, you hapless, stupid
Hey.
bitch.
I got something. I want to break to everybody here. And, we did the whole OJ thing, but, these people on the internet, they don't know how to investigate. And I'm a real Hollywood investigator. And what I found, what y'all want to know, is I solved the Princess Diana case.
Are you sure that's the one?
Yes. I almost just running a look there for a second. Yes, I am sure. I am sure. Princess Diana. She was the Princess of Wales. And I also, I have sources. I talk to people. I know how to interview. And as a Hollywood investigator, I was able to determine that I think Adolf Hitler was behind the Nazi party.
Careful. Mm-hmm.
What?
No, nothing. I thought I was muted still. Go ahead.
That's right. So I've solved OJ. I've solved the cause behind World War II. And you know what? I think that what people don't get on the internet about this case. And then what they don't get about OJ. When I did that case, when I worked on that case, everyone told me OJ did it. But I said no. Okay, my bad. I go.
Man, everybody, round of applause for our prom king, DB. Anyway, thank y'all for your hanging out, for your patience. We're back. All right. Love that guy. Love that guy. Just the best. I hear he solved OJ, actually. Did y'all hear that? I hear he solved OJ, Natalie Wood, the Delphi Murders, actually. I hear he did. Did y'all hear that Ron Logan confessed?
Ron Logan confessed.
Wait, what are the ones for? I missed it. I would drop a 1, but I don't know what it's for, so I don't want to do it. Now I kind of feel like I want to put a 1 in the chat just to be a part of, but I don't know what it's for.
Ron Logan confessed.
Let's get back into this document. I want to keep going. Whew. Also, I don't know what the... Lindsay says, I also don't know what the 1 is for. Me either. I'm just going to put 1 there anyway. I called the 1 for DB. Did I? Oh, God. I guess it was for Deebs. It's been a long January. It's February 5th. It's just been a long time. All right. Back to this. So we're going to come back to Sandra. We're on page 2. FBI reports are attached on a separate hard drive, listed below in Discovery, Export, whatever. FBI crisis management reporting software Orion is listed below on a separate hard drive. This is the latest download of Orion as of 12/7/2023. Any additional info contained in Orion will be uploaded to eDiscovery as Orion threads are made available. So remember what we said happened on 12/6/2023? Because I do. I remember. There is proof that Ron Logan died on 1/24/2022. His son was appointed exeter, yes, of his estate. You're right, Connie. I know. You're 100% right. We do need his death certificate, though. That's one thing that I can't find. I couldn't get it in 2023. I'm going to try again. I haven't tried in like a year, but we do need it. And he is for sure dead. But it is weird that nobody wants to memorialize him with an obituary. Maybe I'll write him one. I got some things to say. I got some things to say about him. We'll come back to this. So on December 6th, 2023, Richard Allen, under the cover of darkness in the middle of the night, with no reason or explanation given, without notifying his then attorneys Scrabredo, Richard Allen is moved from Westville Correctional Facility to Wabash. The very next day, the state of Indiana turns over a good, healthy chunk of discovery over to the defense. Are these two things related? I don't know. Executor, thank you. Are these two things related? I don't know. But I have questions. It's very interesting to me. It's very interesting to me. Search warrants. All search warrants and court-related documents. Some files were too large for successful eDiscovery upload. Some of them may be contained in the recent eDiscovery something or other releases. Oh God, hold on, y'all. 1 second. Oh, what's interesting, Ariel? Yes, sorry. So on 12/6/2023, in the middle of the night, Rick is moved for some reason. We still don't know why. His own attorneys still can't find out why. He's moved from Westville Correctional Facility to Wabash in the middle of the night. Rakita doesn't know shit, but Rakita signs the thingy-majiggy. No reason given. He's moved. The next day, the state hands over a ton of discovery to the defense, including the entire Orion database. Or like at least up until 12/7/2023. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just odd. What the did I just watch? The fact that 97 of you are sitting here with me right now instead of listening to whatever the fuck that is, I appreciate y'all more than you could possibly know. If anyone has a question they want to ask Chris Todd, Mr. Guzzler, if anyone has a question for Mr. Guzzler about Richard Allen, you can direct it right here. Because everything that man thinks that he knows about the guy, did I say Ron Logan? or did I say Richard Logan? I meant Ron Logan. Anything that you think you want to know about Ron Logan that you want to ask Mr. Guzzler, direct it right here, baby. Because everything that comes out of that guy's mouth that's factual, never mind all the bullshit, which 90% of it is, any factual thing that man has to say about Ron Logan didn't come from his own blood, sweat, and research. Let me put it to you that way. Chris Todd, fuck you. Is Todd Click still without bond for misdemeanors? No, Todd Click is home, right? Todd Click's home. Doesn't he have a trial coming up? Did Rakita attend the trial on any day? I don't believe so. I don't believe so. Anyway. It's really funny. One thing I can say is whether or not Ron Logan was involved, Richard Allen was not. Richard Allen is not involved. There's not a theory or anything in the world that I want to be right enough, or that I want to be right about bad enough, that I would like try and shape it and finagle it and shove it into something. Like, I'm happy to be wrong, but do I want to know why you called him Guzzler? His name is Guz. I like to call him Guzzler because that's what he ought to be doing instead of whatever he's doing right now. Be a better use of his time. There were several tables of lawyers and federal lawyers at the trial, though. That's true. That is true. What are we supposed to be listening to? Me. You're supposed to be listening to me because we're going to continue going through this document. All right. Search warrants. All search warrants and court-related documents. Some were too large. Okay. Thumb drive from Todd Click. Files from the thumb drive received from Todd Click on 8/30/23. Wait a damn second. Todd Click gave y'all a thumb drive on August 30th, 2023. That was nice of you. I mean, that was nice of him. So Todd Click turned over a thumb drive to the state. He's still trying to give the prosecutor evidence that he believes points to the actual suspects and killers and away from their defendant. They really appreciated that. They really appreciated that tip. They've been begging for tips for how long, and they get tips from a lifelong law enforcement officer, former police chief, Rushville. Todd Click gives him a thumb drive. And how do they thank him? Well, they put in a motion that they think that he has a history of being dishonest. We might find Brady material. And then a couple days later, they start their investigation into Mr. Todd Click and his forgery. Vito said he sat on that meeting and thought that Todd Click was not involved in this case. I didn't read or listen to that interview, Judgy, so I'm behind, so I'm not sure what meeting you mean, but I believe that. Vito is about as intelligent as you would think he is from looking at him. I like that. That feels fair. David Vito is about as intelligent as he looks. Moving on. Files from the thumb drive received from Todd Click, and then we have Westville Prison cell block video, body camera footage during contact with Allen. Body camera footage? So body camera footage must be different from handheld recorder footage, which would be different from in-cell video footage. So now there's also body cameras. Why are we having contact with Richard Allen? That's weird. I don't love that. They did tase him. That's true. Twice. Any problems encountered in playing any of the Westville associated videos, please contact Thomas Wellington. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. They're like, don't bother us with this. If you need help with these Westville videos, you can contact this guy. Math says the incel video doesn't even make it sound like he hates women. Try as they might. One Western Digital 2.5-inch, 2 terabyte hard drive labeled 8106, 17 ISP C001748, poll camera at the Mears Farm Gate from April 10th, 2017 to April 21st, 2017. That's an interesting period of time. Wait, do corrections officers wear body cameras? Corrections officers wear body cam? It seems unnecessary, although I guess, I mean, some probably do. Do all of them? Do the corrections officers at Westville Correctional Facility on APOD or wherever, do they wear body cameras? Good question. I think I might call Mr. Wellington and ask. I don't think they do, says Scales of Injustice. Seems like it would be quite a cost, right? Both for the cameras themselves and for the data storage and everything. In New York, some of them did when they were doing certain things. That's a great point, Ariel. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, yes, could be from the transports. Good thought, Possum. They did transport him. So, yeah, makes sense. Westville explains their surveillance on their website. That's good to know. Interesting. Moving on. So the poll camera at the Mears Farm Gate. So they put up a poll camera, okay, April 10th to April 21st. Another one from April 21st to April 27th, 2017. Okay. Why? So, okay. Do we not have any from March or February? Or did we just put them up then? Or did something significant happen on those dates? I guess we'll never know. One Western Digital 3.5-inch 500 gigabyte hard drive labeled as compilation of data contained on. The files on this hard drive contain February 26, 2017, Delphi flip phone found under bridge. Oh. Okay, they found a flip phone under the bridge? That's not weird. That's not suspicious. DB says, hey, you should probably only put evidence on a forensically wiped drive, guys. Okay, flip phone found under the bridge, apparently on 12/26/2017, maybe. Or maybe that's when they extracted it. I hope they extracted it. Maybe they didn't. It doesn't say that they did. It just has files on it. Okay. March 11th, 2017, Delphi LG found phone in Clinton County. I believe LG would be the LG type phone, right? The LG phone, not Liberty German. So they found another one in Clinton County. Okay. Axiom Celebrate for February 22nd, 2017. What does HTC mean? It's probably something obvious. Like when I asked what tip 74 was. Does anyone else find it strange that McClellan didn't redact anything on this? It's a phone brand. Thank you, Deeps. Does anyone find it strange McClellan didn't find it necessary? Hidden true crime, obviously. God. Y'all, we're spending too much time together, I think. A chip off is when they remove the CPU of the phone to extract the data. Okay. The CPU, is that the computer? DB, the CPU, I mean computer. HTC is a brand. Okay. Yeah, not a single redaction on this report, huh? It's almost like he wanted us to spend our night talking about this instead of other things. Alec Bebout. Whoever you are, Alec Bebout, I'm sorry that your phone extraction's just been told to the world. Amazon tablet in a pink case, either belonging to or found by Kendra Nelson in the woods. German Liberty Samsung Galaxy tablet. Okay, she had a Galaxy tablet, I guess. Hemming, holder screenshots, holder. Samsung something. Jackson. Stewardson, kosher. The CPU is basically the brain of your computer, the central processing unit, says Lindsay. Thank you, Lindsay. Lindsay, you're very smart. I mean, everyone here is smart. That's not surprising, but you just know a lot about a lot of things. It's very helpful. Thank you for sharing. Oh no, the names of minor victims are in here. Goal is going to remove it from the CCS. So they couldn't crack the guy's phone. They couldn't get into it, but they had a search warrant for it. Ask DB. DB, who are you talking about? Oh, wait, who are you talking about? Oh, Holder, right? Holder? Or Westfall, or both. What the fuck is this list? Ariel, so this is part of the physical, where is it? So this was turned over to the defense January 30th, 2024. And this is a physical discovery release that contains itemized list of all of the physical discovery that was turned over to them, excluding the e-discovery, right? No, Alex is Steve's. Oh, okay. Oh, chip off report. Okay. I guess chip off report. Yeah. Mike's nipple. What is a chip off? Chip off is when they remove the CPU. Okay, you just, okay. Remove the computer to extract the data. Got it. So this is a list of everything that was contained on this 500 gigabyte hard drive, labeled compilation of data, contained on 8110. The files on this hard drive contain, and then these are all the different files. Samsung, whatever, J Maxwell, L Maxwell, McKinney, Pearson, SIM card, 2/14/2017. Interesting. It's a day after. That can't be McCain, right? Because that would have been 13, unless this is the day that they actually like got it and uploaded it or saved it or whatever. I don't know. Voorhees, Wallace, Wilbur, Wright, Young, Delphi Murders, 2/14/17, Logan Holder, FTK Imager. Yeah, he outed all these people and then some. Why did he do that? I have a theory, I have a theory or two. Griffey, ISP Peru, 2/25/17. This would be Kagan, right? Conskek warrant, I believe. Liberty German, Magnet, Mobile, Persons of Interest, Anthony Schatz, Bob Shoed, Brad Holder, Eugene McKinney, Glenn Cunningham, Kevin Stewardson, Larry Wainwright, Mike Nipple, Patrick Westfall, Tower Dump, Verizon Tower Dump, Victims, Verizon Tower Certification, Addendum. The original drive was found to contain CSAM in the whatever warrant folder. They are connected to Kagan Klein's device extractions in relation to his Miami County child exploitation case. The original hard drive is available for full inspection under supervision at our office. I feel like there's special teams that do that, right? Yes, I did, Dom. I did get it set up. And if it's not in this, if the link is not, so try the link that's in the description. Actually, Teresa and Deebs helped me, and it didn't work in the description. Okay. I did put it in a recent live, though, so hold on. Let me check, because I know you've been really patient, and you've asked me, and I finally went, and I think I figured it out. So hold on. Okay, so if you, maybe that didn't work. If you go to, so go to the live that I did, Dom. It's the one with Brad Weber's van on it, and it's called Delphi Trial Bombshell. It's from 2 weeks ago. The link is in the description there. Try that one. And if you can't get that one to work, then I will pause and I will try it again. But I didn't forget. I just forgot to put it in this episode description. Okay. What time was the safekeeping hearing? There was no safekeeping hearing. That's a great question, Landscape. There was no safekeeping hearing. They completely skipped over even holding a hearing. They held no hearing. They allowed Judge Diener. What time was the meeting then? Good question. We don't know that they even had a meeting. There was a safekeeping proceeding, which consisted of Tobe Lesenby filing a request for safekeeping, which was around like 11 a.m. on November 3rd. And then Diener, almost immediately, not even an hour later, filed his order granting basically that request. So it happened, an hour or two after they found out that Rick's attorney, Brett Gibson, would not be representing him moving forward. So it happened in a very quick time period, as far as I know. Okay. Where did I leave off? 3.5-inch, 2 terabyte hard drive labeled 8111, containing security camera footage and photos from the Hoosier Harvest. Security camera footage and photos. Doesn't say what from. And then it also has Hoosier Harvest store footage from residents of 5998 West 252 North. I believe that is the address where the motion to correct error video of Weber's van arriving much later than 2:32 p.m. Mav. Hold on, let me laugh. I need to know everything about Mike Nipple before the sun rises. Oh my God. Hey, Carbon, good to see you. Nice, that's what I was curious about. You are so welcome. ASAP Nipple. Mav is hilarious. Okay, there's 2 different methods for getting data off cell phones based on the type of device you have. The issue in this case is that it's on an iPhone. Apple is restrictive in what you can recover. That makes sense. We'll go back to Mr. Nipple, don't worry. Did I already pass over Mr. Nipple? Maybe he's mentioned again. Oh. Okay, and Dave McCain's photos from the trail. And then we have a Seagate hard drive from, 17 ISP. Cell phone extractions. Baker, Barger, Circle, Collins, Davids, Eads, Erskine, Germond, Brown, Hart, Henderson, Hicks, Isley, Colt, Matthews, Marchand, Samsung, whatever, Slavens, Toomey, Wallace, White, Wright. Cell phone extractions. A2340A66, unknown. Maybe that's one of the found cell phones that they found. How do you not know? Like, how do you not know? Mike has 2 older siblings, so that makes him a third. No. Demos, Dylan Miles, Derek German, Humphrey, Sandifer, Snowberger, Weber. So these are all cell phone extractions. That didn't work either. Okay, Dom. I'll do a community post. I don't think if you are on Twitter, I don't know if you're on Twitter. I'll do a community post after this. Y'all, please keep me accountable to do that because Dom, I definitely want to get that link because you've asked me so many times and I've keep saying I'm going to do it. I want it to work. So remind me. I will do a community post. Maybe it was missing a battery. You're welcome. Nipple tentacles. So here's the thing about these extractions. It has the case number on it. Obviously, that's the murder case number. That is literally ISP's case number for the Delphi murders. So this tells us nothing. Cell phone extractions, that's great. It's like, oh, great. They did a Derek German and a Standifer and a Snowberger and a Weber extraction. But we don't know when. So these extractions could have been like 2022, 2023, 2021, 2018. I have no idea when they did any of these. You know? Anyway. One Seagate, whatever. So just to remind everybody, we are going over the physical discovery that this is an itemized list of physical discovery in the form of hard drives, Did anyone else notice that, sorry, I just don't want to forget. Did anyone else notice that this dumb motherfucker, Nick McClelland, addressed this to attorney Joseph Baldwin? Whomst? Whomst, Nick? Nick McClelland, who misunderstands everything? Joseph Baldwin? How about you put some respect on, our boy's name? How about that? You absolute fucking loser. Anyway, Joseph Baldwin, I'm sure, appreciates the effort. Where'd we leave off, y'all? God, he's a fucking moron. Who is Circle? I suspect that Circle... where was I? I suspect that Circle... is the Circle, is the, could it be like a gas station or a business name, maybe? James McClelland. Whomst is Joseph? Nick Chronic McCletus. You were on the nipple. I was on the nipple, wasn't I? All right. Axiom Celebrate. Unknown Apple iPhone 5S. Okay. 2/22/2017 HTC white chip off. Unknown, whatever. I guess we don't know who that is. Amazon tablet. Liberty German Samsung, whatever. Hemig, Logan Holder, Jackson, Stewartson, Kosher, Liberty iPhone exam. These are all different hard drives, y'all. Keep in mind. Just these are file names. These are fucking file names, right? On many different hard drives. No order to speak of. No organization to speak of. None. We don't have Circle K's here. Interesting. I wonder what it means. James Maxwell, Logan Maxwell, McKinney, Pearson, SIM card, Voorhees, Wallace, Will Wibbler. I think that means Wilbur. Williams, Wright, Young. FTK Imager, Hicks, Griffey, Maxwell, ANCF, Magnet. What is a FTK Imager? They mentioned that earlier when talking about something belonging to the Holder boy. The Holder boy. So the Android, the Samsung whatever, is that a cell phone or is that like another kind of device, I wonder? Galaxy, the Galaxy, Samsung Galaxy. Interesting. Michael Lowe quickly complains that the van video doesn't have an ISP item number. Right. This is the most disorganized clusterfuck I've ever seen in my life, Michael. So it looks like Liberty German Samsung Galaxy. So she had a Samsung Galaxy somewhere. Logan Holder, Jackson, Stewartson, Kosher, Liberty iPhone exam. Mav, James, Maxwell, Logan, Maxwell, McKinney, Pearson, SIM card, Voorhees, Wallace, Wilbur, Williams, Wright, Young, FTK, Imager, Hicks, Griff, I, Maxwell, Magnet, Delphi, Miscellaneous, Liberty, German, OS, Triage, pictures of evidence and trail. Magnet Forensics, Mobile, whatever. Keep seeing this. Mobile Lease is a collection of companies that help with electronic vehicle charging, including financing, location analysis, and optimization. It helps companies build and operate EV charging stations. So could this be vehicle data? Am I being stupid? Mobile Lease is a term for multiple companies that help with electronic vehicle charging infrastructure. Am I crazy, right? Yeah. Is that because someone thought they saw a smart car? Could be. There is no CSAM alert on that second Keegan-Klein reference. Yikes. Interesting. Come back to that. Magnet Forensics Mobile Lease. Then we have Ashley Wright, Penn Jones, Bailey Doolin. Bailey Doolin? Come again. Hey, Truth and Transparency, we sure are live. Me and 18 other close friends. Are we sure Abby didn't have use of that phone? No, we're not sure of that, Auntie Bev. I don't think we're sure of anything. Is Nick the biggest piece of human garbage, or is it just me? It's definitely not just you. He is trash. He is trash times 1,000. He is trash squared. Billy Doolin, huh? Okay, Doolin. Doolin Jr. B. Weber, Henderson, Anderson, Erskine, Dylan Hall, Derek German, Collins. Collins? Isley, Damos, Johns, Lucas, Defries, Humphrey, Burkhart, Germond, Patterson, Kosher, Hart, Moffat, Snowberger, Hemig, Abbott, Circle, Davis, White, Hicks, Geary, Marchand, Wallace, T. Wright, Weber, Trailcam. Carbon is glitching over Bob's show. It. Yeah, we'll have to come back to Bob. That's a blast from the past. One Seagate 3.5-inch 2 terabyte hard drive. Phone extractions for Baller, Dunham, Gunther, Heater, Isom, Jester, Myers, Sabella, and 3 unknown devices. I might look in this for something critically important, since none of these names are ringing any bells. That would be a good place to hide something critically important. One Western Digital, 2.5-inch, 2 terabyte hard drive, labeled security camera video. For what? Containing security video collected from businesses and residences. You want to bet this is like literally the most, like nothing, like that. This is it. This is what the defense has to work with. Terabytes and terabytes and terabytes and terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of random ass fucking videos. Terabytes of random ass shit. You should be, listen, Nick McClelland, if you're here, you will be eventually. Listen to me. You should be fucking ashamed of yourself. You are an embarrassment to law. You are an embarrassment to men. You are an embarrassment to prosecutors, attorneys, really to just people and to humanity. You're an embarrassment to the state of Ohio. You're an embarrassment to Toledo University. You're an embarrassment to your family, friends, loved ones. You are an embarrassment. You should be embarrassed. I know that you won't be, but you should be. This is embarrassing. This is the amount of attention. Maybe Abby had a phone also. That's a great thought, Connie, even though she wasn't allowed to have one. True, and we know that kids do things they're not supposed to do all the time. For example, Abby had a Facebook page. And I believe that Anna didn't know that, or she had Anna blocked so she couldn't see it. Like, it's just what teenagers do, you know? That's what teenagers do. That's what we do. He's an embarrassment to the damn human race. I just came back and I thought Andrew's talking about me. I was, DB. Welcome. What do you mean you just came back? You smell like betrayal. You smell like you've been sniffing around Chris Todd's bullshit live. Just kidding. It's okay. Normal teenage stuff. It is normal teenage stuff to hide stuff, although I wonder whose phone they're talking about there. Samsung. Ange, come on my show for a guest feature. Hell yeah. We'll do it. I was prank calling Delphi after dark. Yeah. Literally just security video collected from businesses and residences. Great. Awesome. Security video, Hoosier Harv Store, Library, Michelin Mexican Grill, Pizza King, Save-A-Lot, Shell, Sunoco, Transfer Station, True Value, and Walmart. No dates. Nothing. No dates to speak of. Are you talking about the nipples from Delphi? Asked Connie Dillman. Probably Connie, because there was definitely a, what was that guy's name? Mike Nipple? Something Nipple was mentioned a bunch. Oh, okay. Ready? This is where shit gets crazy. Y'all remember that they turned this over to the defense January 30th, 2024. The defense then filed their motion to dismiss based on destruction of evidence, I believe, what, in April or March? So they're going through all of this. They get to uncatalogued interviews from the Delphi Police Department interview room from February 20th, 2022 to March 24th, 2022, uncatalogued. And from, from February 20th, 2022 to March 24th, 2022 and August 17th, 2017. Huh? Did they mean 2017 here, you think, y'all? I don't know what Mike Nipple says, Connie. Okay. We'll have to go back and see. We need to get the tip out of that. There's no dates for anything ever in the state of Indiana, it seems. Exactly, Lindsay. How funny would it be if that was a fake suspect? 2/20/2022 and August 17th, 2017, due to a DVR program error discovered on August 20th, 2017, all the recordings up to February 20th, 2017 were recorded over. There is no detectable audio found on this drive. So this is chaotic AF. I think there's I vote for me. I vote yes. Hell fucking yeah. Is this how they notified them? Yes. Yes, Stevie. This is how they found out that these were all recorded over. So then it goes on to say, why can't I say that word? Uncatalogued interviews from the Franklin Street Investigation Center. Now, y'all, these are two separate investigation centers. So the primary one is the Delphi Police Department interview room, okay? That's where that DVR is located. The Franklin Street Investigation Center, I believe, is REMC. So why are we also having corrupted or compromised or destroyed data from the other location? That's why all the suspect names are in there. Look over here, not over there. Right, DV, exactly. So they said that they had a DVR issue at the Delphi Police Department. Well, did you also have a DVR issue at the Franklin Street Investigation Center? That's an entirely different building. From February 25th, 2017 to April 7th, 2017. Don't we also have an unrecorded interview of Holder? Yes, we do. Precosin. Oh, at the Logansport Police Department. Did you have a DVR issue in your fucking brain, you worms? Right. Why are we... So all of your DVRs at all of your locations just happen to be like corrupted or recorded over at the same time when you're conducting these critical interviews in the early days of the investigation? These are literally different buildings. I have to get in my car and drive a couple miles away to get to REMC from the Delphi Police Department. It makes me think it's an operator issue. Yeah, his name is Steve Mullins. Okay. Labeled Delphi DVR Drive 2 export containing uncatalogued interviews from Franklin Street Investigation Center, 228 to 630, 2017. Oh, this is a duplicate. There's no detectable audio on the original from which this duplicate was made. Okay, where's the original? How is this possible? This right here is disgraceful. 1 Seagate Delphi DVR Drive 3 export containing uncatalogued interviews from Franklin Street from June 11th, 2018. What was going on June 11th, 2018, I wonder? June 11th, 2018. June 11th, 2018. Let's remember that date, y'all. Put it in the old noggin. Something happened then. June 11th, 2018, job 002. This gets its own hard drive. It's a 4 terabyte hard drive, Delphi DVR Drive 3 export. This is an enormous hard drive. That's enormous. 4 terabytes is enormous. And it only has, oh, okay, uncatalogued interviews from, okay, so never mind. This could just be, what the fuck does this mean? How many uncatalogued interviews? I'm getting pissed now. Now I'm getting pissed. I don't get this. That's an enormous hard drive, right? Am I tripping? I'm so confused. This is upsetting me. So, uncatalogued interviews, that's great. Uncatalogued. Cool. Delphi DVR Drive 4, uncatalogued interviews from Franklin Street Investigation Center from, okay, same shit, from September 1st, 2017 to January 19th, 2018. Uncatalogued, don't worry. They're uncatalogued. Lana, are you in here? I need to go back and read what you said. Lana said, winner picks a charity donation. Okay. So I'm going to go on Lana's right now, or DB's telling me what to do. I have to go back and find where my instructions are. I'm thinking of having... That's adorable. Lana, are you going live right now? Am I embarrassing DB? I haven't been paying attention. Hold on. No names or dates, right? Defense has to literally go through everything. Yep. Truth and transparency. DB says, Ange will come on in 10 minutes when you go live if you want, as long as this chat follows her there. I'll do whatever you tell me to do. I will await instructions. HTC. I really like the... Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Headphones? Not a damn thing ever happens at the Delphi Canal Center except for our town hall meetings. Do you want me to pull that back up? Sorry, I got confused. Then after Lana, we go on. Hi, Angela, I'm here. Oh, shit, tonight. Yes, I'm live at 10. Oh, no, DB got it wrong. DB thought that you meant right now. Yes, I will do a Delphi live with you anytime. You just tell me when. Oh, wait, never mind. I have no idea what is happening in the chat right now or in DB's. Yes, tonight. College or her fest. Ew. Don't picture that. Don't do that. Are we gonna talk about the damn nipple? I'm gonna kill you, DB. You can come on to it. Nobody am I invited? Did I just invite myself? I got confused. I thought you were saying Delphi live tonight. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do a self-invite. JC the music man says, I will follow. No, she just invited. Oh, okay. Don't yell at me, Deebs. Gosh. I invited you tonight. Oh, that was so nice. Okay, I'll be there. Right now? She's doing the Delphi live tonight. Why did you on? I missed it. Lana, I'll be there. Right now. Let's do it. You are on point. Thank you, Lana. DB, communicate like Lana does. Direct communication, sir. My God. DB, I miss you. I hope you're doing good. How's your night? What you up to? And we have talked about this in our weekly check-ins. I don't pay attention during those. DB, there is no time zone, child. McClellan and the nipples are good friends. I have more information. Connie Dillman has more information. Please use UTC. What's UTC? I love you, Connie. Connie, I gotta call you tomorrow. What's today? Wednesday, Thursday. I can call you tomorrow if you're around. I have things to say. I love you, though. It's like -6 hours for you. What does it stand for, though, UTC? We are not going to get in Rick Snay's book if you're not networking. This is part of the networking plan. So should I conclude this live and say everyone follow us over to Eastern Standard Time? I'll be live in 5 minutes. And you come when you're ready. I'm ready. I'll be there. Mike's dad was nicknamed Shorty. Shorty Nipple. I asked when 10 is because I'm Australian. Oh, it's in 4 minutes. DB, are you going to link everybody? We've talked about this at our check-ins. DB's too busy making memes during our weekly check-ins. I wanted to make them daily check-ins, but he thought that was excessive. So fine. All right, everybody. See you in 3 minutes. Bye. Two minutes. I didn't even finish my sentence. Finish it.